Today, the little angels want to tell you something very important. You know that special person you really like, but seems to be very distant? That distance is causing you a lot of worry, right? You feel anxious without really understanding what's happening. Sometimes you even feel a bit guilty, as if you've done something wrong. And the worst part is that besides all this distance, it seems like there's a deep silence, especially from her side. You wonder, did I do something wrong? Did I unintentionally hurt her? Should I have acted differently? But look, don't worry so much. Likely, you haven't done anything wrong. Sometimes we worry too much, and that's why today your angel has a very important message for you. Even if you've been a sincere and nice person, it seems like there's a strange energy when you're together. And it's not just your fault, you understand? Sometimes it's just how the person is, part of their personality to act like that. So don't blame yourself for something that might not even be your fault. Life has its ups and downs, and things don't always happen as we expect. The important thing is to keep your head up and move forward. Who knows what the future holds for you, right? If you want to receive today's message from your angel, leave your like and make sure to have the subscription activated so you don't miss any divine protection. Amen. When you're blaming yourself for something that happened, relax, okay? Sometimes we feel anxious, stressed, and even a bit excluded, right? We just want to understand, to feel that everything is okay. But look, it wasn't your fault. You know what's great? You're the kind of person who always tries to solve things and always looks for the kindest way to handle everything. You care about everyone. You want to see everyone smiling, and that's good, you know? But sometimes, unintentionally, the person you're interested in is a bit confused. It's a complete mess. Maybe she distanced herself from her friends, but look, even those friends weren't that good for her, you know? Sometimes the people around us aren't so nice. So don't think it's your fault, okay? You're doing the best you can, and that's what matters. Sometimes there are people who, I don't know, it's like they didn't learn to speak properly. They say a bunch of nonsense as if they're still in school. It's a bit crazy, right? But look, that could even be an advantage for you, you understand? Let me tell you why. When someone like that is talking all over the place, little by little, they realize that those people aren't as nice as they seem. Maybe they talked a lot about you but felt bad because their friends were hinting that you were the problem. What a situation, right? But in reality, you were never the problem at all. Now, even if there's silence between you two, that person is starting to see things differently. She sees that it was her friends who were saying a bunch of nonsense, not you. And that's great to realize because it shows that you've always been calm. And look, what comes after all this? That person starts to look at you differently and sees that you're an incredible, kind person who has always been there, ready to help. And then she wants to be closer to you, wants to move forward together. And that's when things start to improve between you, to become nicer, deeper. It's like a real, strong connection, you understand? Sometimes we're left not knowing who's right, who's wrong, who's real, and who's just going around in circles. But look, that person who thought she was guilty of all this is now seeing things differently. And you think she's starting to realize that the problem is closer than she imagined, especially when she's with her friends at gatherings, dinners, and such. She's noticing how those people are a bit annoying to her. And then, with a distance between you, her heart beats stronger for you. She misses you, understands what she's missing, and realizes that you were never the problem. So maybe you can understand each other again. While she distances herself from those people who aren't good for her, you know, detachment isn't cutting ties, it's just taking better care of oneself. And look, that makes her want to get closer to you again. Sometimes, the more we think about someone, the more we miss them and the more anxious we become. And that only gets in the way. The secret is to let things happen naturally without worrying too much. Look, there's something very important in this whole story, a very solid energy. This person has always wanted stability, but ended up getting involved with complicated people. But now she's connecting the dots. The more time she spent with people who weren't worth it, the more she realized who mattered. And at the end of the day, it's you who she wants. And you know what else? When you focus on yourself, an incredible energy emerges. Sure, it'll be hard at first, but you'll get through it. And when you feel more confident in yourself, that could make space for you two to come back together. Don't ignore that desire to reunite. If you want her to come back, it'll work. But if you don't want to, that's okay too. The decision is yours because you're important in this story. Take care of yourself, love yourself, and let her come closer again because an apology is on the way. Hey, when someone is interested in you, they'll always look for someone similar. You know why? Because you're their dream. But at the same time, she's scared. Sometimes she'll try to find you in other people, but she'll realize that nobody is like you. It's like a spiritual awakening, you understand? She's striving to improve to have you by her side someday because everyone notices you. You're incredible. You have something special that attracts everyone. Your energy is contagious, and your way of loving is unique. That's why everyone wants to be close to you. But did you know that the person who admires you feels insecure? She thinks she's not good enough for you, that she has nothing more to offer than love. Even though you know she's incredible, she doesn't see herself that way. She thinks you deserve someone better. So everything's a bit confusing for her. She feels lost with these thoughts, intimidated by your shine. But deep down, she just needs to understand that you chose her for a reason, that you see how special she is. It's just a matter of her perceiving it too. Look, there's a complicated situation happening out there. This person who's interested in you is full of negative energy, insecure, thinking she's not good enough for you. Besides, she feels like you're taking different directions in life. She admires you a lot for your spiritual side and would do anything to be by your side, but she's avoiding you. It's not because she doesn't want to. It's because she feels insecure. The problem is, she doesn't realize how strong the bond between you two is. She doesn't understand that what she feels, you feel too. And since you're not communicating, everything becomes even more confusing. And you know what else? She's watching you all the time on social media. Even if she's not talking to you, she's keeping an eye on every move you make. She gets angry with those who interact with you and even wishes bad things for those people. So yes, she's watching you on social media, monitoring every step you take, and she gets angry with those who get close to you. It's a bit of a complicated situation, but it's important not to be affected by that negative energy. It seems like she's immersed in spirituality, but is attacking the people around her, especially those she thinks might be love interests. Sometimes she becomes very emotional, not the crying type, but filled with a lot of anger. She tends to overthink, react excessively, and jump to conclusions. And you know what else? She might even show up where you work. She's obsessed with the idea of meeting you. Sometimes she even passes by your house or your workplace just to see you. And now she's especially curious because she feels there's someone new in your life. The problem is that she's focusing too much on you. She should focus more on her own life, but she's getting distracted with what you're doing. She's upset with the people you're associating with when she needs to focus on her issues. It's a complicated situation because it seems like she's losing herself along the way, worrying more about you than herself, seeking too much external guidance. And that's only making her more desperate, not knowing how to handle her own life. Sometimes justice works silently, and she needs to understand that and focus on herself. Now, if you've made it this far, it's time for you to start paying attention to some details of your life from today onwards. And maybe from tomorrow, you'll be surprised with some divine surprise. But if you want to receive a great divine surprise, click on one of those videos appearing on your screen because that way, you'll keep attracting positive energies. Amen.